Subway, the Corner Pantry, and the Argyle Food Market are locally owned by Mr. Nick Patel, who thanks the Clinch County Homerville communities for all their support. Subway, located on West Dame Avenue in Homerville, is the go-to place for nutritious, healthy food. We have catering platters to meet all your tailgating needs. Don't forget to drop by the Corner Pantry in Homerville and the Argyle Food Market in Argyle and pick up all the items you need at the best discount prices in Clinch County. Nick says, go Panthers!
Camping World of Valdosta, located in Lake Park, is your one-stop destination for all your camping needs. Stop by to see your dreams of quality time with your family become a reality. Whether it's tailgating with your air-conditioned camper, taking a trip to the mountains or beach with your family, or driving your motorhome to a faraway destination, Camping World has it all. Let us put you and your family in a camper for as little as $99 per month. And remember, when you buy a camper from Camping World of Valdosta, you receive a free Elite Good Sam membership, roadside assistance, and travel assist for 1 year.
Dairy Queen is a proud part of our local communities and is cheering our sports teams on to championship seasons. Drop by before and after the game to say hello to Mr. Ash and his entire crew and enjoy the full Dairy Queen menu, including our famous grilled burgers, artisan-style sandwiches, and chicken strips. Cool off with our renowned smoothies, slushies, malts, and iced coffees. Try our fabulous desserts and take an ice cream cake home for that special occasion, or just to treat the family. Dine in or take out at Dairy Queen locations in Homerville, Blackshear, Folkestone, and Fernandina Beach. See you at the DQ.
Hello and welcome again to the Country Table. We're so glad you could join us. We are honored today to have with us the face of CreekboxTV Nation, Alan Handley, and Alan's going to help me out in the kitchen today with a couple of recipes. Come on in, Alan. Let's get started. Man, we're so glad to have you with us.
Darling, when y'all invited me last night, I didn't sleep none work because I know what we get on Friday nights, you know, so...
Well, you'll remember these cookies because you just had these a week or so ago. They're my great-grandmother's recipe. It's called Icebox cookies and has a lot of stuff in it, but I've got to enlist your help in putting them together.
Well, I'm good at that.
Tell me what's coming up first, though. I think you're going to be taking on some new duties with CreekboxTV. Is that right?
Yeah, we're going to do the rural news in rural Georgia. I'm do some news and some weather, you know, kind of do all that. Mr. Berrien's working on all that, so we hope to have that after the first of the year, get rolling pretty good, you know, and then we're finishing up football season. We hope to have the game this Friday, you know, against Charlton County. It'll be a big game there. So, and then we have sports talk. We're gonna have a couple of guests this week. So, man, exciting times. And it's here at the holidays, and it's all about eating now. Right. Cooking and eating.
Let's focus on the priorities.
Cooking and eating.
All right. Well, first I've already sifted some flour. This recipe makes a lot of cookies because it has quite a bit of flour in it. And it takes 4.5 cups, so let's measure that out to start with. Alan, tell me how you are such a wealth of knowledge, or have such a wealth of knowledge about football and sports. Have you just played sports your whole life?
I have, and you know, being at the rec park, having the rule changes every year to rec league sports, and just, you know, I like to read a lot, and me and Lexi, we'll play that trivia, and it's, we've always done that, and it's just, you know, I don't know that much you're bragging on, but no, we have fun, especially this time of the year.
Well, it has paid off, and I'm telling you, the downside is you have ruined me on the so-called regular networks because they're so boring. I can't listen to a football game.
Everybody says that.
It is the truth. It is the truth. Y'all make it so entertaining. I mean, you give us the information about the game, but you make it so interesting, and it's just it's a whole different world from what we're accustomed to.
Well, we see and we know all the people in the bleachers, and we know all their secrets most of the time.
That's right.
But they don't mind
A
it.
few comments on body shape, a
That's
few
right.
comments on eating habits. All right, now here's where you come in. I'm gonna get you to add these spices. In this cookie, we've got soda and salt and cinnamon and allspice and cloves, and so we're going to need to mix that in with the flour. So get to where you can reach those.
And I'm glad you have them measured out for me.
There you go. It takes the guesswork out.
That's right.
I'll get that out of your way.
Oh, I smelled that. It already smells good, Miss Lisa.
Yep.
I know that's the salt.
To me, these cookies taste like the holidays because you've got the cinnamon
When
clove.
you made them last week,
It reminds you of holidays, doesn't it?
and you had the chili with it.
Yep.
Boy, it was just right. That goes good together.
Oh, me. Yeah, none of those cookies came home, so I always take that as a good sign that people liked them. And we're just going to blend these together. It's easier to make the spices blend with another dry ingredient instead of waiting until you've added your eggs and shortening and those kinds of things to the dough. So once we get that blended together, we're going to step over to this bowl and do something else. We've got in the large clear bowl there, we have some Crisco and some brown sugar and some white sugar. And the recipe tells us we need to cream that. Do you know what it means to cream
Mix it.
something? No?
Mix it a lot.
Yeah. Just kind of get it all blended, and this mixer is actually, once it gets going, it's too fast to suit me.
See, when I make cookies, Miss Lisa, I go to Piggly Wiggly Harvey's and I get that in that long stick and you cut them off 1 inch and put them on the pan. This is a little different than when I eat them. But
Talk about
that's why
taking out the
these taste
guesswork.
better.
Well, I don't know about that, but they are fun to make, and it is a really unique taste. I don't know that I've ever had a cookie that tastes quite like this particular one.
I took several packs home the other night after the game. I make sure Barry don't have to clean up my.
That is so thoughtful. That is so thoughtful,
And
Alan.
Daddy, with a cup of coffee, these cookies are delicious now with coffee.
Yeah, I can see how that would work. I sure can.
See, I'm a dunker. I like to dunk my cookies in them.
Did they hold up to dunking?
Oh yeah.
No.
Well, you got to time it just right. Now. You can't hold it in too long.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And one more egg. Makes it a little bit easier to work with, getting the moisture from the eggs in there. The real challenge is when we try to stir in the flour, because it is pretty dry to start with.
Yeah, it's starting to take shape there.
Yep.
Yeah, that smells delicious already.
Well, the smell of those spices is just really appetizing to me. Let's get this whisk out of the way, and we're gonna just dump some flour in there and start mixing.
And you've already measured that out, Miss Lisa, in your bowl?
I had measured, I was measuring while you were explaining why you know so much about sports. I had sifted it in this bowl, in this bowl, and then I measured it into this one. Right. It's 4.5 cups of flour, and then of course you mixed in our spices, and so let's stop with that for now and try to get some blending going on here before we go any further, else I'm afraid it's just not going to work very well. I hate to turn this mixer on because I know flour is going to go
fine there, wasn't it?
in 50 directions.
Well, it's homemade. You got to make a mess a little bit.
That's true, and maybe wear a little on your face.
That's right.
Prove that you've been doing something. I think there's a TV commercial to that effect. She uses a packaged cookie or whatever, but she does some flour on her face. Yeah. Just for authenticity. All right, and the last thing we're gonna add will be the pecans. They're already chopped. It's supposed to be a cup of pecans, but I went a little over.
Man, it's Thanksgiving.
There you go.
Pecan season.
There you go, there you go. I keep wondering how bad the prices are going to be this year
I know
after
it.
all the storm damage in southwest Georgia. It's got to make a big difference. I'm going to turn this on for a sec and see if I can speed that up. Yeah, thanks. Do you ever cook, Alan?
Oh, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
What do you like to cook?
My favorite meal is fried pork chops, tomatoes and rice.
Oh.
Macaroni and cheese and biscuits. That's,
Oh, wow, and you do all of that?
Yeah. We eat that at least once a week. And I like corned beef hash and rice. I like, just corned beef hash. Anything with rice. I'm a rice eater. So.
Canned corned beef hash?
Yeah, you
I have not eaten that in years. I used to love that.
Just heat up some oil and dump it in there with some onions and add a little bit of water to make a gravy and just pour it over your rice. It's delicious.
Wow. We sort of have a challenge here because this stuff is really dry and it just takes a few minutes of persistence to get it blended so that you don't see any more flour. And then once we get it to that stage, we're going to form it into several rolls or log shapes. And the reason these are called Icebox cookies, of course, is you chill the dough. It just makes it easier to slice it when you get ready to bake them. But it will make several rolls, and so I think I took 5 dozen cookies to the game the other night, and we still had 2 or 3 dozen left. So it is a great recipe for making quite a few cookies at one time.
Well, that's why they taste so good. It takes time to make them.
I think they're worth it, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're worth it when you get to the end of the task. Right. There go our pecans. I'm going to let you mix them.
All right. Yeah, man, I bet I can eat the dough.
Oh, I can too. There's all these cautions, like if you buy a cookie mix, they tell you do not eat raw cookie dough. No.
That's for people up north. It's not for us folks down here.
I have eaten a lot of it. Cake batter, cookie dough. Yeah. Of course, one of these days you could get a bad egg with some salmonella and really regret it.
That's one thing with Lexi, started cooking a little bit. She watches the program all the time, and she's got several recipes from you. And I'm always the tester, which I enjoy doing that.
Well, that's great. That's good to know.
That chest pie that she had, that's delicious, boy. First one she made, bless her heart, I said, call Miss Lisa and I think you did something wrong. Too lemony.
Too lemony. Maybe she put in 2 lemons instead of 1 lemon and 1 vanilla.
But now the next one tasted just like
I think that's good.
Is that good, Miss Lisa?
I think that's perfect, yeah. And let's see, no, you're fine. I'm just gonna get some, reach into that drawer right there if you would and grab a box of wax paper because we're gonna roll our logs and put them in wax paper. And I'm pretty sure, I've never tried it just because it's tradition to do them this way, but I am pretty sure you could make this as a drop cookie and skip the chilling step. I don't really see any reason why that wouldn't work. Obviously, they wouldn't be quite as uniform as the rolled kind, but I don't think, that'd be good. But it shouldn't make any difference at all. Okay, that's about the size of the rolls we're looking for.
Man, and then, like you say, you make a bunch and then you just come out
and just whack some off and bake them. I'll let you roll that up. Finish rolling that up for me.
Oh yeah, once you get it mixed up and this done, that's over with.
Yep, that's exactly right. And I usually, depending on how long they're going to be in the fridge, I usually will put these inside a Ziploc bag so that you're sure that no air gets to them to dry them out or take on a taste of the refrigerator. But that's all we have to do. And I don't know that my 2 logs are the same size, but that really doesn't matter. And you can slice these really thin or thicker. They don't need to bake more typically than about 10 minutes. You wouldn't want to overbake them. I think the batches that I did for y'all, I made some, I underbaked some and left them kind of soft, and then I did some that were crisp.
Well, the crisp ones are when you drink the coffee, and the soft ones.
They stand up to the Dunkin'.
Right. Now, well, how long will these last?
I'm glad you told me that. And how long will the dough last?
Yeah, can you put it in the freezer?
You can put it in the freezer, and in the refrigerator. Oh gosh, I would assume that the dough would last at least a week, because the only perishable is the egg, the 3 eggs, and you know the shelf life of eggs is pretty good. So yeah, let me put it this way, I think they would last freshness-wise longer than they're going to last, because they're going to get baked and eaten. I don't think you'd have to worry about that.
That's right.
But in the freezer, they'd obviously last a pretty long time. Again, you just want to make sure that you don't have any flour showing on the dough, and you did such a good job blending this for me.
I noticed it's not sticky like when you make biscuits.
No.
You don't have a problem with it sticking to your hands or nothing.
No, it's drier than biscuit dough, and so it's, well, except this one is trying to separate. I can't get this one the way we need it to be. But yeah, it just rolls here on the cutting surface. There you go.
Yeah, these are just right. Man, you can have 100 cookies out of just one cookie.
Oh yeah, it does make a lot. And again, you can cut them thick or thin. You can bake them a little longer than 10 minutes so that you get a nice crisp, and of course that bakes the pecans that much more, so they have a nice roasted taste. I'm going to stop with this one, and we'll show everyone about getting the dough into the Ziploc bags. And
you need Ziploc bags out of here?
Please. There should be some gallon ones over to the left, Alan. Okay. No, that's...
Yep,
try that one right there.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I was saying, that didn't look like a Ziploc bag.
Yeah, it's just, as I said, if you're just going to chill these for a few minutes, you wouldn't have to do the Ziploc bag, but typically if they're going to be in there a few hours or a few days, I would just seal them up in the Ziploc bag so that you don't worry about it drying out. And I made them too long from a Ziploc bag. It's going to be a struggle to get this last one in. There we go. So all we're going to do is chill these for a bit. You and I are going to work on some soup while this dough chills, and then we'll be baking some cookies.
Sounds good to me, darling.
All right, see you in a few minutes.
Jerry J's is the best Boston butts and ribs around. Meat so tender and tasty that it practically melts in your mouth. We have a variety of home-cooked meals and the best breakfast in town. And don't forget about our barbecue sandwiches. Jerry J's can cater your event and looks forward to serving you in Homerville, Waycross, and Douglas. Oh yeah, if you can't make it to the game, drop by Jerry J's in Homerville to watch the game live on CreekboxTV while you enjoy one of the many items on our menu. Go Panthers!
At Burt CPAs, helping small businesses with their accounting needs is our business. We have offices in Homerville, Waycross, Alma, and Baxley. Burt's professionals are ready to serve you no matter your location. We are your team for accounting, bookkeeping, tax, and financial advice. In Homerville, call firm partner Adam Toll, 912-490-7142. Since 1972, Popeyes has been serving up mouth-watering, delicious, hot and mild fried chicken and chicken tenders from its Louisiana kitchen. You know about our great chicken, but have you tried our tasty seafood? All of our menu items come with a Southern style all their own. On your way to or after the game, stop by Popeyes and remember we can handle all your special event catering needs. Conveniently located on Memorial Drive in Waycross, Popeyes puts a piece of Louisiana in every single meal.
Well, Alan, we have finally had a break in the hot weather, and it's a little bit cooler, and I'm excited about that. How about you?
Oh, I love it. It finally feels like football season.
It does.
We started off, last year I think we could eat chili in about the 6th game of the year. Now we didn't get it till the last game of the season. So,
Exactly.
Times change, and
Times change.
I enjoy that time for a little while anyway.
Yeah, but I think this coming week is going to be a good time for soup, and so we're going to look at making some soups right now. This is called chicken cheddar broccoli soup, and several hours ago I started chicken tenders, some onions, some garlic, the florets off of a head of broccoli, and some diced potatoes in the slow cooker. And so all of that is really tender. I've shredded the chicken, and so it's all set except for the creamy part of the broth and some cheese, which you're going to be a part of. You're going to add that for me. I'll tell you about one shortcut I took. The recipe originally called for 1/4-inch diced potatoes, which of course means washing and peeling and chopping.
Yeah.
And so to take a shortcut, I used hash browns that are already cubed, and the cook time is long enough to get some really tender. So that's just a little shortcut you can take if you're in a hurry. All right, we've got a cup of heavy cream here. How about if you add that 1/4 cup of flour into it for me? So, Alan, did you played football forever in high school, I take it?
Yeah, yes ma'am, I did.
And you grew up here?
Yeah, I was born here. Dr. Chisholm delivered me.
Okay.
There were 5 of us. I had 5, 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and I was the only one born in Homerville.
Really?
Yeah, everybody. Bubba was born in Denver, Colorado.
Oh my gracious.
Pam was in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Carla was in Missouri. And Kyle was in Fort Myers, Florida.
My heavens.
Daddy worked all over.
He worked all over, didn't he? All right, let me get you to put some cheddar cheese in here. Just pour it into the slow cooker here.
Right. Miss Lisa, this has everything that somebody from South Georgia, chicken, onions, garlic, and cheese and potatoes. I mean,
can you go wrong with that?
No, I mean,
all right, that's
no way.
Parmesan cheese. I'll let you dump that in as well. And of course, this is starting to give it a creamier appearance. You want that, obviously.
Oh, that smells good.
With a broccoli cheddar soup. And the chicken is the kind of the add-on, because you don't always see chicken in a broccoli cheese soup. Let's see, now I think we'll add our flour and cream mixture, and that's just going to thicken the soup up. You'll want to give it some pretty good whisks. I don't think it would tend to lump because it's really not that hot. And if you want to, it's fine to just put some of the hot liquid into your flour and cream mixture to make it easier to get that out of the bowl. Give that a few stirs for me, and I'll get rid of this messy bowl.
Man, I'm ready to taste it now. It smells delicious.
Well, we're going to just let it thicken for a few minutes, and it should be ready for you to taste test shortly.
That looks good, Miss Lisa.
In the meantime, why don't we retrieve that dough from the freezer, and we'll slice some of that up. I just heard the oven beep. It's up to the temperature we needed. These cookies bake at 375 for about 10 minutes. So I think we can go ahead and clean off a spot here and slice up some cookie dough. If you'll hand me, thank you.
I'll do it.
If you'll hand me that. And here we'll use this to slice on. They go on an ungreased cookie sheet, so that makes it easy.
Oh, yeah.
And this, of course, is wax paper, which makes it easier to get off of the dough. If you use a saran, it's fine to seal it, but it's a little more of a challenge to get it loose from the dough. So you want to slice or you want me to
I'll
slice?
slice a little bit. How thick? I eat some too.
That's up to you. You're entitled.
We'll see on the first piece. You always got to taste that.
Well, yeah.
All right, it's ready to slice.
It's ready, okay. I usually slice about 1/4 of an inch, but you can certainly do thicker. You can do a mix. And I'll put them on the
that's
pan
Lisa.
for you.
Find out what be that one thick or the pecan
Okay.
there. Some of these will be for coffee, Dunkin', and then
Now let's see, you said those that are cooked a little longer
Yeah.
stand up to Dunkin' in coffee.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's good to know. I'll have to, oh, I'm sorry,
No,
I'm
you're
scratching.
fine.
I'll have to remember that.
Oh, that is good. Am I doing these right? now,
You're
Miss
doing
Lisa?
exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah, that. Let's go with some that are about that thick, I
Oh, a
think,
little
and
bit,
see
okay.
how they turn out.
Right here. That one.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
all
Let's
right.
try a few like that, and then we'll just mix it up. We'll have some thick and
There
some
you go.
thin. As I mentioned earlier, I think if you wanted to skip the dough chilling step, I think you could probably do these as drop cookies just as well. But because it was the tradition from my great grandmother, that's what I've continued to do: chill and slice.
I'll get one little one for that, and we'll save
Okay.
this one over here for me.
Okay. Well, you do need to continue to make sure that the taste is consistent all the way through.
That makes, what you got, 17 there?
I think so. And if we weren't a little pushed for time, we'd go ahead and fill the pan up. But let's go ahead and get these in the oven, and I'll set the timer for 10 minutes. They possibly will start to brown a little around the edge. You want to be sure that you don't overbake them, but outside of letting them get really, really brown, I don't know that I've ever seen them overbaked. I think somewhere around 10 minutes, depending on whether you want soft or crisp.
That's right. I mean,
Okay,
but
you
you
want to-
can't overbake them because you need them raw, don't you?
That's right.
I'm eating, still eating them.
That's right. All right, let's get this out of your way. And I'm going to get you to taste the soup if that's all right.
That's fine with me.
You don't mind?
No, ma'am.
Okay, sorry I didn't get a ladle out sooner. I apologize for that. Let's see, I think it probably has thickened some. It's going to continue to thicken if you leave it. The recipe actually says to let it thicken for about 30 minutes before you serve, and you would want to go ahead and serve it fairly quickly because the cheeses might start to break down and separate if you leave it too long on the high heat.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah, this really should have a few more minutes to get a little bit thicker, but I'm just going to give you enough to taste test here. And a spoon would help. Don't burn your mouth. There you go.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
It's hot.
Well, that's good slurping there. Now. You hear me? That's good. That
We
is
should have made
delicious.
something for you to dip into the soup.
No, that's fine. I'm going to dip my hand in there when we get to the bottom of it. Oh, Miss
Okay.
Lisa.
Well, it passes the test.
Oh, it's delicious.
Okay, well, great. I'm glad you like it.
Now, you're not having that for supper tonight, right? We're going to eat all that.
Well, I was hoping that you might take some home with you.
Just a little bit.
Okay, we're going to give those cookies a few more minutes to get done. They lack about 7 or 8 minutes, and we'll just see you back in a couple of minutes, folks.
Carter's Fried Chicken in Homerville has become the gold standard for fried chicken barbecue and catering. Carter's also offers a full menu of other tasty items and is open on Sunday. Thanks, Chad Brown, for making dining at Carter's a family tradition in Homerville. Go Panthers!
Lee Engineering and Construction Company in DuPont, Georgia has been a part of the community since 1935 and is proud to support Clinch County athletics. The prayer of the entire Lee Engineering family is that our Lord and Savior will richly bless our schools, community, and nation. Huddle up! That's right, huddle up at the Huddle House in Homerville and Lakeland before or after the game. And if you can't make it to the game, watch all the live action here at the Huddle House. Remember, Huddle Houses of Homerville and Lakeland have a full menu with something for everyone, with prices that can't be beat. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, 24 hours per day, Huddle House is a game-winning recipe for the entire family. Go Clinch County Panthers, go Lanier County Bulldogs, and don't forget, huddle up at the Huddle House.
Alan, another soup that we'll just touch on briefly, and you're sampling it for me over there as I talk. This is called tortilla soup, and I actually did not brown any tortillas to use as a topping, but this is chicken, rotel, diced tomatoes, fresh onion, fresh garlic, tomato juice, chicken tenders done, and I just dumped it all in the crock pot in a slow cooker and let it cook overnight.
And you can taste everything in it, Lisa.
Yeah,
it's delicious.
Yeah, I'm so glad you like it, and it has cumin and chili powder in it, so that it really has a taste similar to chili. You mentioned that you'd like to have some cornbread at the bottom of the bowl.
No, it's in South Georgia cornbread. You gotta have cornbread.
But it's just a really good. And it's mild rotel, but it still has a little bit of heat to it, so it's a good cold weather dish.
Delicious.
Our cookies have come out of the oven. I like your thick ones. I like those cut thick, and they would tolerate a little bit more cook time if you wanted them to be more crisp.
That's right.
To stand up to Duncan. So
Man,
I'm
the
gonna.
whole kitchen is smelling. Miss Lisa, I'm gonna break. Boy,
Yeah, you go ahead.
That's just right there now.
You like it that way? Is it about half crisp and half soft?
Boy, that's just right. You get a bowl of vanilla ice cream and crumble some of these up.
Oh, you're adding.
Throw it in the microwave.
You're adding more temptation, aren't you?
That's delicious, Miss Lisa.
I hope you'll try these recipes. I think you'll enjoy them, certainly, especially since you can do these soups in the slow cooker and just put everything in there and forget it. I think you'll find them helpful during the holidays for cold days and days when you're really busy and don't have time to do a lot of cooking. And the cookies are good to have on hand anytime, whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas or not.
You have me back anytime, darling, to do for your cooking show now.
That's a deal, and I appreciate your help today, Alan. Thank you so
darling.
much for joining us. We'll see you next time on the Country Table.
Seed can provide nearly all of your farming-related needs, including seed, corn, bulk fertilizer, herbicides, insecticides, and a large variety of other farm products. Evalie and Nick want to remind you that you do not have to shop out of town to find the lowest prices. Our prices are as low or lower than any of those out-of-town companies. Come by and let the friendly staff at Homerville Feed and Seed help you select the farm products you need at the lowest prices around. Lutz, Brown, Pegler, and Manley Insurance Agency is locally owned, has been a part of the Homerville, Clinch County community for many years. Jeff Brown and Eric Lutz make it a priority to know their clients on a personal basis and take pride in customizing insurance coverage for the particular needs of each customer. They offer all lines of insurance, including auto, home, business, life insurance, annuities, and bonds. Lutz, Brown, Pegler, and Manley Insurance Agency, East Dame Avenue, Homerville. Go Panthers!